You know, I seen a comment about an hour ago on a video that really sums it up for me. It was they were going to need to take a step back off of YouTube, not even watch YouTube, because the struggle content is getting ridiculous and out of control. And I agree with that. Because, listen, it's the weekend. YouTube is taking over cable TV for me, and I'm just trying to be entertained out here. And every time I go through my feed, it's like struggle content, struggle content, struggle content, struggle content. Which, I mean, okay, there ain't nothing wrong with struggle content, but let's get into what is wrong with the struggle content. So let me say, I've watched a variety of YouTubers. This is almost now like a niche, a category of YouTube struggle content creators, because there's so many different people that's making this type of content. Somewhere, somehow, somebody spun like the vlogging lifestyle type of content into like struggle. Whoa, we struggling, ain't we? Struggle content. So let me just say, I think that if it weren't for a couple of things, I don't think there would be any beef, any issue surrounding struggle content, because, well, it's trending right now because, one, it's relatable, because almost everybody's going through financial hardships and struggles right now. I mean, look at the state of the economy, the inflation, it's hard out here. So a lot of people can relate to that. And so therefore it's also trending and it's popular, and it's what's going to get people the views. So the views turn into money. So that is why we are seeing a lot of struggle content. That's why there's an uptick in it. That could even be why it's getting so out of hand. But here are, I might add a third, but here are the top 2 things that are the biggest problems with struggle content right now, of why struggle content is getting such a bad name and a bad rep, and these YouTubers or channels. If struggle content ever goes away, like if the economy fixes itself and everybody can like breathe a little bit, and you know, people start wanting to see other type of content, these YouTubers, unless they adjust or switch up when that time comes, their channels are going to fall off. But anyway, that aside, that'd be their own problem. But that aside, one is, and I've been sitting on this a minute, so if I'm going to be screaming at this camera for about 20 minutes, I apologize. But the first thing is this. Struggle content would be okay. I don't even think anybody would complain about struggle content if the people that were creating these struggle content videos would be up front and say, hey, I make this struggle content. It's loosely based off my personal life and or experiences, or it's, you know, completely fake, and I am making this type of content, these videos, because I'm making money from YouTube, or maybe I want to make money from YouTube, depending on where they're at in that lane. And so I do this as an entertainment, a part to entertain an audience, because if I'm providing you some entertainment, I can make some money. If these people would be upfront about that and say, hey, I'm not really struggling out here, or, you know, this is, my struggles are exaggerated or loosely based on my own personal situations, or this is just all stories from people I know, or something like that, like, let it be known. And people would respect you more and trust you more if you were open about that. Because look, back when everybody watched cable TV, there was a thing called reality TV. That's all fake. That's all scripted. The storylines are all built up, wrote in, faked, because it garners money. The more drama, the more evoked emotions in the content, the more viewers, the longer the views, the more money. So if that's your goal, you want to create some type of reality TV type of content, a train wreck, be open about that. It could be loosely based off your life. Yeah, you might be going through some struggles, you might be having some situations. But here's the thing with this first point, is at this rate, the people who are wanting you to believe that this is their real life and this is really happening to them, it's a lie. They're flat out lying. The other thing that I want to say that's one of the biggest problems with the struggle content, before I start going off on a tangent about how it's all fake, is the fact that the money that these people are making from their videos already, because these people are getting YouTube checks for making this content, is that that's not enough, and that they are being deceptive and manipulative in regards to the content that they're posting, and begging and or demanding, dry begging, however you want to word it, for people to send their hard-earned cash to them, as if the money that they're making to produce their little reality TV shit is not enough. They want you to send your hard-earned money to them, and they're going to pull on your heartstrings, tug at all of your emotions to get you to do that. That is deception. That is manipulation. That is what we tell people to stay away from. You don't want to be around people like that in real life. So why would people encourage others or want to purposely sit and watch that? That's not even good content. I've clicked on videos before, okay? And the video is literally of just somebody asking for people to send cash donations. There is nothing else going on in the video. Literally nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I do not want to watch you beg for money. Like, throw something else in there at least. Like, you can't even, like, you can't even come up with any, like, anything, any type of content now. Now you can't even come up with content that what you have to post is just literally you begging for money. Like, you know, you can't even, like, show us cooking your breakfast that you can't afford. Hey, man. But let's go back into the first point, which is that these people are lying. And I see people donating money to these people on these channels all the time. I literally just watched a struggle content video, which was, like, on the cusp, or maybe even a rage bait video, which is another thing that they're starting to couple in with the struggle content and the begging for money. Now, I have personally noticed, I don't know if other people have noticed it, but now their newer videos are all plays on the audience's reaction, and they're turning it into, like, rage bait shit. But anyway, my point is, I just watched a video, like, while I was preparing for this, for me to sit in front of my camera and scream about this shit. And it was like a rage bait struggle content video. And in the comments before I left, I seen, okay, you know, the video was about, like, you know, oh, I don't have any money, you know, times are tough, you know, I'm down bad, yada, 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 like, you know, what am I going to eat, how am I going to live, how am I going to drive my car around, blah, blah, blah. And in the comments before I left, before I come here to scream at y'all about this, I seen comments of people leaving comments that were, like, encouraging these people to, like, start lists, like, you know, like an Amazon wish list or whatever, so that people could buy them food and, like, things, like whatever the things they were that they were wanting or needing. Why would this person need you or somebody else watching to buy them things or food directly? I mean, they're only a few days away of getting their nice big YouTube check that they actually get for laying in their bed or sitting in their car and crying, which is half the time fake. They don't even see no tears. So why do you need to go buy them a box of crackers? Their YouTube check is probably more than you make working at your full-time job. And you think that they need you to order them a box of crackers off Amazon? No, they do not. And don't help other people to think that they do. And you know what, I don't want to discourage people from like helping other people, or, you know, donating to other people, or taking away from somebody who may actually be struggling in some form or fashion, because being a decent human being and caring about other people's well-being and all of that, that's good. That's good. That's being a good person. But don't get sucked into the manipulation and the deception that is on YouTube and the struggle content community. Because look, most of these people are getting YouTube checks. And ironically, a lot of these people have been showing you how much money that they're getting from their YouTube checks. Okay? So you know that they're making money. They're getting checks. Where does this money go? And, like, you know, their car's about to get repoed. They're about to be homeless. They're going to get evicted. They don't have no food to eat. But look, they're telling you this while they're sitting in their house with the lights on. They are telling you this while they're driving down the road in their fancy new vehicle that somebody somewhere had to have cash money to put in the gas so they can drive around and tell you about how they're about to lose it tomorrow. Hell, some of them are even telling you they ain't got nothing to eat, and then 2 minutes later in the video, you know, they're sitting down in a bottle of super expensive wine. And it's like, how'd you get that? You know, if you're out here really starving, you're begging your neighbors, going to food pantries or something for like a bag of beans. You know, if you're about to be evicted, or, you know, they're going to come get your car or something like that, you're trying to figure out how you're going to come up with the money for that. You're not going to be driving the vehicle around. You're not going to be taking a little bit of money that you have and putting it in gas to keep driving the vehicle around when you're about to not have it because you couldn't afford the payment on it, because you didn't pay the payment on it. No, these people are sitting here wanting you to believe that they're so bad down that they have nothing. They're about to lose everything that they do have. But they're showing you as they're crying, crocodile tears, puppy dog eyes, blowing like a train station, rolling around in their bed, stomping their feet. They're showing you, they're doing all this in the house, in the car, eating the food that they claim they don't have and they're about to lose. And then they do a video the next day, they're still in the same car, still in the same house, still eating. It's a lie. It's not even, it's deception. It's not true. And the problem with that is they want you to believe that it's true. But it's not. And some of these people on top of that are literally begging for cash donations, and or they're selling merch and or product. Which, again, let me preface this, because there's plenty of YouTubers, influencers, people on TikTok, whatever, that, like, you know, sell merch or have products that they, you know, sell. There's nothing wrong with selling merch or having product or whatever, or doing sponsorships or, you know, whatnot. The problem lies in the lies, the deception, the manipulation. You know, why don't you work on polish up your sales skills? You know, make a sale. You know, why don't you say, hey, I have this merch, I have this product, you know, because you watch my videos, you can relate to me, we like the same kind of things. I've gotten to know some of you really well by, you know, having some back and forth interaction. We have the same kind of hobbies, you know, so I created this product, or I'm selling this piece of merch because I really think that you would benefit from it. I really think that you would enjoy this as much as me, and I wanted to let you know that I created this so that we can all enjoy something great together. And if you are interested, I have it for sale for X amount of dollars. Not, hey, buy this t-shirt for 20 bucks because if you don't, I'm gonna be homeless tomorrow. That is fucking crazy. Crazy. And you know, society has told us to not beg, not ask, to get up and do for yourself, or feel shame or guilt. But some of these people, they don't feel any of that, obviously. How can, you know, if you're really struggling, a lot of people they don't want you to know. They're not going to tell everybody that they're struggling because they don't want people to know, because, you know, they're going to guilt you, they're going to shame you, they're going to look down on you and be like, you need to get on your 2 feet, you need to do this, you know, I can't believe it, you know, get up and get a job, or, you know, whatever. Don't fall into it, because I know a lot of people can't afford it these days anyway. And like I said, this new development that I have noticed, I don't know if other people have caught on to it really, because, you know, I don't know. I haven't really seen anybody bringing it up. I haven't really read it in comments or anything like that. But what I've noticed, and I don't know if it's because they have a lack of content ideas maybe, or maybe they're lacking ways of like drawing people in and like playing on their heartstrings, and it's, you know, whatever they've been doing isn't really working as well. But what I have noticed is that, say they make some kind of struggle content video, and then say they get like a comment, or somebody does some kind of reaction to it, or like something happens, right, from a viewer, and, you know, they react in some form or fashion, and this reaction garners a lot of attention, whether it's like a bunch of thumbs up on the comment, or a bunch of replies, or it's like a reaction video that like everybody watches, and like a lot of people are in agreement, and or, you know, displaying the same type of sentiment. Then the struggle content creators, if you pay attention, their next video will be focused and or related to, you know, this comment or this video that garnered a bunch of attention, but they'll twist it and they'll work it into a new video where it creates rage bait. Okay, so now they're pooling new content ideas, new ways to draw you in, new ways to try to get you to give you their money by using what their audience is saying or feeling or thinking, and multiplying that when they realize that a lot of their audience feels the same way. And this works in the same way that the begging and the crying and the whining results in a lot of attention, a lot of emotion, a lot of views, longer views. Because with YouTube anyway, it doesn't matter if everybody loves you or everybody hates you. If you have people hanging on by a thread to your content, to your videos, you're still going to get that big YouTube check. So they're playing on now ways to create rage bait, and then once they get everybody up in their feelings all mad and whatever, then their next video is going to come back in to being, woe is me, or oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't like me, wah wah wah, you don't even like me and I'm about to be evicted, wham wham wham, poor me, oh shit. And then what happens? Now they can say they're not begging, they're not insinuating for people to give them money, but then people are like, oh yeah, people are really mean in that last video, people really said some awful stuff in the comments, everybody was going right after them. Man, yeah, I should probably send them $5, they probably need that for their rent. You gotta be careful. Just be careful out there if you are someone who wants to, you know, help somebody out and donate. Make sure it's like either somebody that really needs it, or you're, you know, supporting somebody because, you know, you like them or you enjoy their content or like something like that, you know, or you can relate to them really well. But the thing with the struggle content creators is there's a lot of people that can relate to them, but the content that they're putting out is deceptive because they're not relatable. It's the content that they're producing is relatable, but it's making people believe that them as a person is relatable, and they're using that deception to garner extra money out of people, which is wrong. It's wrong. It's so wrong. I don't even know why they keep on doing that. And it almost makes me not want to watch struggle content no more because, like I said, it's turned into like panhandling, like just flat out videos of begging for money, like whether it's flat out begging like, hey, send me money now, or wah wah wah, I have $3 and I have no food, please. literally, I just watched a video like that. The video was not very long, and it was pretty much a whole full-blown dry begging video. There was nothing else to it. Literally nothing else to it.